Hello and welcome to MSU Inside Out on KMSU. I'm Ethan Wiley.
And I'm Kylie Coons.
And we've got a great show here headed for the day for you guys. Kylie, what do we have?
Yeah, so we've got the basics, we've got news, we've got sports, we got weather, and we also have some really great, we have three actually really great interviews tonight with three very different MSU students. So I'm really looking forward to that. But to kick us off, Maya is standing by with news.
Thank you, Kylie. Minot State University's spring semester registration is now open for all currently enrolled MSU students. Registration continues to the start of the spring semester. MSU students should consult with their academic advisor by appointment and check with the MSU Registrar's office in person at the Administration Building, Room 161, or by email at registrar@minotstateu.edu or by phone at 701-858-3345 for any holds on their account. Register now before classes fill. Enjoy a night of poetry reading with local poet Kimberly L. Becker and student poets from Minot State's Poetry Writing Workshop. The event is being held tonight at 7 in the Northwest Arts Center. The author of 5 poetry collections is of mixed descent, including Cherokee. Her work appears widely in journals and anthologies, and she has received various grants and residencies, including a nomination for a Pushcart Prize. The event is free and open to the public. Check out the flyer for more information. The Minot State's Military Resource Center and the Department of Humanities are running a Veterans Day poetry contest. They are hoping for those in any way affiliated with the military to enter the contest and write a poem having as its theme the good, the bad, or the ugly of military life. Help us celebrate this Veterans Day with a poem. Poems are due no later than today. Winners do get a cash prize, and for more information, you can contact Andy Heitkamp, Military Resource Center Director, by email at andy.heidkamp@minotstateu.edu or Robert Kibler by email at robert.kibler@minotstateu.edu or phone at 701-720-2716. Ethan, I'm super excited for all of the events happening tonight as well as tomorrow. I'm even more excited for the reading held tonight in the Northwest Arts Center because I am actually one of the student poets that's opening for her, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, it's also really, I'm also really excited to see the poetry. I have always been a big fan of poetry, performed in a poetry contest, performance contest in high school, so it's always fun to get to see the way that art form can kind of be performed. But he is a third-year student hailing from Alaska who's looking to join our new trap shooting team here at Minot State. Joining me is Logan Dosko. Logan, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So how did you get started with trap shooting and how long have you been doing it?
So I started trap shooting when I was about 16, doing it competitively. I did it for about 3 years. I've been around shotguns my whole life. My dad always had me out hunting, so I kind of picked it up from there.
Nice. So with competitions, what does that look like for trap shooting?
So usually you'd be shooting around like 300 targets in a day, so it's a long day. Usually there's several different teams there, so a lot of competition.
How does is it, hit or miss, or is there a specific way that scoring works for it?
Yeah, so the scoring, it's usually how many targets you hit out of 100. So there's usually people only win by like a few targets, so competition's pretty close. Makes you nervous, yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of competitions were you competing in before coming here? Is there different leagues for it, or did you do it with a school?
So I was just doing it for my division, so it was like junior class for this club team. It was like kind of a part of the high school. So yeah.
Are the rules or the way that it's done any different from a club side versus like a collegiate type of competition?
As far as I know, the rules are the exact same, so yeah, nothing different.
Awesome. How many people are in a team typically for those competitions?
So at a time you can have there's 5 shooters going, but a team usually has maybe like 10 to 15 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the way that it works, like, is everyone kind of in a line? Everyone just like cycle through? How does that like flow?
So everyone's lined up at a station. So there's 5 stations, each person at a station, and then you shoot at that station once each round. So you get 5 shots at each station, and then you rotate to the next.
Okay. And then how much do you typically travel with something like this?
So back home in Alaska, we'd travel to the like all over. So we'd go like 12-hour road trip, and then like 3 hours. Traveling a lot, yeah.
And so is travel kind of based on like, like are there specific areas that are set up for it, or is it based on like where a club is, for example?
Usually based on where a club is. Each team usually has their own clubhouse and field. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Really
Yeah.
appreciate the time. And now looking in the world of sports, a North Dakota native is actually making headway down in the South playing basketball for Alabama. Parker, why don't you tell us a little more about it?
Thanks, Ethan. The University of Alabama has kicked off their 2023 men's basketball season. With that came the impressive debut of a former North Dakota resident. Grant Nelson made his presence felt in his first game with the Crimson Tide on Monday night. Nelson had 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks on near perfect shooting in a 105-73 victory over Morehead State. This was his first game with Alabama since transferring from North Dakota State University in June. The Devils Lake native is coming off a breakout junior year with the Bison, where he averaged 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. After testing the waters of the NBA draft last summer, Nelson will look to improve his stock this season in hopes of being drafted. Speaking of North Dakota State University, the Bison are coming off their second blowout loss in 4 weeks. The Bison lost 33-16 to South Dakota State University last Saturday. Quarterback Cam Miller led the Bison with 167 passing yards and 93 rushing yards. He also threw 2 touchdowns, both of which went to wide receiver Zach Mathis. The loss puts the Bison's record at 6-3 on the year. It is only the second time since 2013 that the Bison have had more than 2 losses in a single season. The Bison will play their final regular season home game this Saturday against the Southern Illinois Salukis. Kickoff is at 2:30. The Minot Magicians punched their ticket to the 31st Annual Dakota Bowl last weekend. In a rematch from September 29th, the Magi defeated West Fargo Cheyenne 47-30. The win snapped a 6-game win streak that West Fargo had over Minot. The Magician victory was highlighted by running back Griffin Broderick and quarterback Lucas Beater having 2 touchdowns apiece. The Magicians are looking for their first state championship since 1980, but getting it will be far from easy. Their opponent tomorrow evening is the 11-0 Fargo Shanley Deacons. The Deacons have averaged almost 50 points per game this season and are riding the momentum of a dominant 31-8 victory over Fargo Davies last week. Minot and Shanley will square off tomorrow evening at 6:40 at the Fargo Dome in Fargo, North Dakota. Now looking into local hockey, the Minot Minotauros have been hot to start their season. The Minotauros currently have a record of 11-3-1. That puts them second in the Central Division and 6th in the entire North American Hockey League. The Minotauros are currently on a 2-game win streak after sweeping the Aberdeen Wings last weekend. This weekend, however, the Tauros will be hosting the Austin Bruins in a 2-game series. The 2 teams played 2 games against each other in October, and each team won a game. Both games this weekend will be played at the Mesa Arena, and puck drop will be at 7:35 on both nights. Now, Ethan and Kylie, I'm not sure if you guys are big hockey guys, but have you been able to get out to a Minotauros game?
I unfortunately haven't been to a Minotauros game yet, but I've been to a few Minot State games, and I've been to Toros games last year, and so I need to get out this year for sure.
Yeah, I have not been able to make a Toros game, but I'm really looking forward to some more Beaver hockey, which we'll hear more about later after this short break.
Thank you to all of our underwriters. Trinity Health is a comprehensive healthcare system based in Minot, North Dakota.
Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
SRT, offering a number of services including phone, TV, internet, and security.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
East End, where the poor is worth so much more, located in downtown Minot.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
Nice Impressions, no job is too big or too small, located in downtown Minot.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
El Azteca, authentic Mexican food on North Broadway near the airport.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
Minot Nutrition Addiction, offering healthy smoothies and meal replacements on the go.
HBarB Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Bear's Cat Donuts, located on Broadway across from Minot State Campus.
Hello and welcome back to MSU Inside Out. It has been cold recently. Matt, do you have any good news for us?
I do have a lot of good news. It is starting to lighten up a bit. Snow is melting right now. There shouldn't be any more snow. There's a little drizzle today, but that's nothing to worry about. It melted off just like that. But with current temperatures in Maya, it's 35 degrees with clouds in the sky with a high of 35 and a low of 26. But temperatures out the state, same thing. Williston at 34, Dickinson at 30, Bismarck at 36. Moving on to the east side of the state, 32 for Grand Forks and Fargo for 35. Now for our Papa John 7-day forecast, it is looking up a lot. For Sunday, 58 degrees with partially sunny skies. It's going to be amazing out there. Definitely going to maybe start to get your shorts back on, and it's just going to be a nice day, especially also on Tuesday with a high of 61. It's just going to be beautiful. That's all I can say about it. But don't get rid of your winter gear just yet, because it'll probably make a reappearance later in the year or even next year. So be prepared for that as well. Kylie, how are you feeling about the warmer weathers right now?
I am really excited that it's going to warm up, Matt. Although, like you said, I am not ready to put away my winter coat yet because I have a feeling that warm weather is going to slip from us pretty quick. Another thing that seems to be slipping away pretty quick is the months leading up to graduation. So a number of our comm students are able to take classes that kind of branch out from our standard pro-comm classes. One of those students is Maya Smalls. Maya, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your experience at university. So what's your major? Do you have a minor, concentrations, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in professional communications. My option is in productions, but I also have two sub-options, which are journalism and social media.
That's a kind of a fun group of classes that you're able to take. Do you have a preference on class types, things like that?
I actually originally came to school for journalism as my option. So I do enjoy a lot of the writing classes that I get to take, more of like the creative writing classes. I'm currently in a poetry class right now, but I did take a travel writing course earlier on in my college years, so that was kind of neat to do.
I remember that travel writing class. I have to say that's one of my favorites as well. So what are some of the other classes that you feel kind of branch out from your standard pro-com classes? I know you mentioned poetry, travel writing, some things kind of similar to that.
I haven't really taken many too out of my comfort zone. I mean, I don't really see myself going into PR at all, so some of those classes I'm a little lost in when I do take them, but it's good knowledge for me to leave with, so
Right.
I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to take those.
Yeah. So aside from PR, what are your future plans post-grad?
Long-term goals. I really hope to get into travel writing. I'm also working on photography, doing my own photography, so freelance photography and videography. I'd like to have on the side regardless of what I do. As far as short-term goals, I could see myself doing something with social media, such as social media management or marketing. So hopefully I land something within there. If not, I have gotten a lot of training within our pro-com department, so I'm sure I'd be fine with whatever I land in the media field.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like you said, thankfully we have such a broad option for classes here that you are going to excel in wherever you end up. So that was pro-com senior Maya Smalls, who will be reading her poetry tonight at 7 at the Northwest Arts Center. So be sure to be there to see some of Maya's newer kind of branched out classes that she's been taking. As I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to more hockey games, especially Beaver hockey. Gage has more with sports.
Thanks, Kylie. Starting us off, the men's hockey team took on the University of Jamestown Jimmies last week in the Mesa Arena. In Game 1, Jamestown scored an early goal in the first period, forcing the Beavers to fight back. However, it took until the final minutes of the game for the Beavs to score their first goal of the night. Sophomore Sheldon Howard scored off an assist from freshman Jay Buckles with 9 minutes left in the game. However, a penalty from MSU just a minute later opened the door for the Jimmies to regain the lead 2-1. This was all they needed as Minot State lost 2-1 for their first loss of the season. And in Game 2 on Saturday, the Beavers came back with a vengeance, scoring 4 times in the first 2 periods before Jamestown could respond. They finally did in the third period, but the Beavers had total control as they won 4-1. This series brings the Beavers' overall record to 11-1 on the year as they head into the ACHA Chicago Showcase next week. They will be taking on Arizona State University, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and Ohio University, who all rank 16th, 3rd, and 14th respectively. Game times can be found on msubeavers.com. And moving on to women's hockey, the Lady Beavers battled number 5 ranked Maryville University in the Mesa Arena last week. Minot State lost Game 1 on Friday 2-0, but in Game 2, the story was different as the Beavers battled back from being down 3-1 in the third period. Junior Paige Ackerman began the comeback with a goal with 9 minutes and 35 seconds left in regulation. And then in 1 minute and 34 seconds left in the game, sophomore Olivia Opheim scored during a Saints penalty to tie the game at 3 to push the game into overtime. During the extra 5 minutes, senior Haley Beaver managed to make a save while on a one-on-one breakaway. With this thrilling save, sophomore Chrissy Rink received a pass from sophomore McKenna Webley to score in overtime with 2 seconds left on the clock. This goal secured the win for a final score of 4-3 Minot. With this crucial overtime win, the Lady Beavers moved to 5-7 on the year. They take on Midland University in the Mesa Arena this Friday and Saturday. Puck drop for both games are at 3:45 p.m. And kicking it over to women's basketball, the Lady Beavers played their first 3 games of the season last week for the D2 Tip-Off Classic hosted by MSU Billings. In Game 2 on Saturday, the Beavers took on Florida Tech. At halftime, the Beavers were up 39-28 as junior Sydney Gustafson took the reins for the Beavers offense. She went on to score 17 points on 6 from 12 from the field, with 4 of those buckets coming from three-point range. The Beavers would go on to beat the Panthers 72-63. And the Beavers play again Friday and Saturday in St. Joseph, Missouri for the Central Region Showcase. Tip-off on Friday is at 2:45 and Saturday is at 12:30. And lastly, the football team has their last game of the season this Saturday. They'll be taking on Winona State University in Minnesota at 1 p.m. And the 1-9 Beavers are looking to break their 3-game losing streak and end their season on a high note. Be sure to watch the live stream for the Beavers and root for your favorite seniors, as this is their final game of the season. And you know, Ethan, with the winter sports starting up, I'm getting very excited about basketball season because, you know, basketball is one of my favorite sports to watch. So what do you think? What is one of your favorite sports?
I love curling a lot. Don't go anywhere. We have another great student interview after this. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Inside Out. Most art students have many opportunities to stay in the art world here at MSU. Maya Robertson is one student who is taking that opportunity. Ningi is standing by live.
Minot State University's art department provides various outlets for students to creatively express their passions. Joining me now is MSU art major and Northwest Arts Center intern, Maya Robertson. How are you doing, Maya?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So Maya, what is your specialization in the art department and why did you choose it?
My specialization is ceramics, and I picked it because I took one ceramics class as an elective and just ended up liking it. So I changed my major and I stuck with it.
Oh, that's lovely. And I know you are an intern at the NAC, so what would you say, is the experience working here?
It's been a great experience so far, just being able to be an art student in general and be involved in a lot of the art aspects is really fun.
Okay, so what does your job description entail working at the NAC as a ceramics major?
I work in collections as well as helping set up and tear down exhibitions.
Okay, so what does that process entail?
In collections, we use a composite foam material to carve out with a hot knife to, I guess you can say, reset certain pottery items or other fragile elements that are like in art history and things. And setting up for exhibitions and things, that's just a whole process in itself that varies each exhibition we have.
That's very interesting. Okay, so Maya, you are a senior, so you're graduating in May, I believe. Exactly. And so what do you plan to do after you graduate?
I think I'm going to end up going with a graphic design route until I'm able to purchase things to continue with ceramics.
Okay. Well, there you guys have it. If you are interested in the MSU Art Department programs, please do not hesitate to check it out. It's on the Minot State website. And back to you, Ethan.
Thank you so much, Nangi. And that is actually going to bring a wrap to our show here tonight. Kylie, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what we had going on?
Yeah, so we had, news, weather. We had some really cool interviews with, who did you interview again?
Logan Dosko.
Yeah, that's right. Trapshooting is coming to MSU. Very cool. So we will be back next week. Don't forget to tune in to the Monday night podcast at 7:30. We usually highlight some pretty impressive athletes here at MSU. And as always, we will be right back here on Thursday, so we will see you next week.